everyone out there trying to get their 2021 taxes done. If you came to this video, you are at the right place. I am going to show you how to get your 2021 taxes done at home, saving money, and receiving credits that you may or may have not ever received before, but we're going to get this done. I am Sloan Lackey, and I must warn you, for the majority of this video, you will not see my face because I believe that it is very important for me to show you the screen in order to follow along with these steps. Let's go. For starters, I'm going to explain why I am using TaxSlayer. I do have a PTIN, which some people don't really know what PTIN means. That means the Preparer Tax Identification Number, and I have tried multiple softwares. I've tried Free Tax USA, which I do use sometimes, TurboTax, all the other, tax platforms out there. I just feel like TaxSlayer really engages questions to make sure that you get the most credits that are available. So you're gonna set up a TaxSlayer account. You're gonna enter in all your basic information. It's gonna ask you for your information, if you have any dependents, for their information. Once you go into the portal, then you're gonna go ahead and click Get Started. Once you get started, sometimes if you had an account with them before, it'll pull up information from like prior filings. If you don't have an account with them, if you never had an account with them before, then obviously it's not going to do that. It's going to ask you to enter in your information, right? So you're going to enter that in. It's gonna obviously make sure that it has the date correct. It says, I am filing joint return with my spouse. If you are filing as a couple, you're gonna click this. If you're not filing as a couple, you are going to leave it blank, and then you're gonna click continue. All right, once you click continue, it's gonna give you some options. It's gonna say free simple filing. You really don't have to worry about getting this part 100% correct, because based off the questions that TaxSlayer asks you, it's actually going to take you to the tier that's best fits you once you're done. It's basically going to go by the filing documents based off the answers that you put in, based off the questions that were in there. So honestly, I typically start at file for free. And then wherever it wants to take you, that's where it's going to take you at the end of the day. So let's just say I'm putting in my name, putting in some information. I'm just going to type in numbers, obviously. Get this information done. You can put in your application, sales, customer service, whatever. I don't know. I'm just not typing the word sales right. That's okay. Then you're going to go ahead and click continue, and it's going to take you to another page. Don't know why it's whatever. This is the address. This is not my current address, but that's perfectly fine because I don't want you guys to know where I live at. So you're going to put in your address information. I'll just put like, I don't know. Let's just change that. Put in the zip code, residency at the bottom. Have you been in this state for a full year? Yes or no? So I'll put yes, because obviously I've been in this state for a full year. If you haven't, then you can put full year resident in another state. And then you can also put part year resident in part year resident if you've been here for like, whatever state the address that you put in currently, if you've only been there for like half the year. So yeah. And if you have a stateside military address, then you're going to click this. If you don't, just go ahead and click continue. All righty. And then you're going to put in a mobile phone number. It's going to want to send you text messages when you are logging in. So be mindful of that, because you want to make sure that you put in a phone number where you can receive those text messages, because they definitely are trying to be secure, just to make sure, they're getting to the right person if you get locked out of your account, or just to verify your login. Okay. I'll put the company phone number here. That's public. Okay, so then you're going to click save. And then it's going to take you to another page. which says enter additional information. So you want to read all of these. I would assume that if you are filing your own taxes, that you are over the age of 18. If you are a student, then yes, you want to click this. See how it asks for these credits, like at an eligible education institute? That's because it wants to make sure you have your credits for going to school. Can anyone else claim you as a dependent? So you want to kind of like go through all of these questions if you want to donate and click the right ones. Obviously, if you're filing your own taxes, well, typically no one can or should be claiming you as a dependent if you're already filing for yourself. So yes, that's basically how that works. Are you affected by a natural disaster? All these questions, they're looking for, ways to get you credit. So click continue, check any of those that apply to you. And then it's going to say, what's your filing status? Are you single? Are you married? Are you married filing separately? Are you filing head of household, which means you take care of the majority of the bills? Are you filing as a qualifying widower with dependent children? You're going to click one of those. Head of household, typically. If you're single, you're going to file single. If you're married, filing separately, then, click the one that applies to you. Do you have any dependents? So if you have children, you're going to click yes. And then you're going to put in their information, right? So you're going to click, let's just say test. You're going to put in their date of birth. You're going to put in their social. And then you're going to click, it's going to ask you, check here if the individual does not have social security number, ITIN or ATIN. If you have small children, like you just had a child, they don't have a social security number. Typically, if they are born, let's just say they were born in like, I don't know, November, December. I don't know why they would have a social security number yet. But if they don't have one, then you click that. And then it's just going to tell you that the person is not eligible for filing because you have to be a citizen. So then the required IRS requires tax ID number. It's going to tell you that, social. And then it's going to say, was the individual a U.S. citizen? If they are not, you can't claim them. That's just basically telling you the truth. So you're going to want to put yes if you're claiming them and they are a U.S. citizen. You're going to put your relation, if they're your niece, nephew, son, daughter, grandchild, foster child. If they're your aunt, uncle, you have all of these available. Click the proper one if they're your parents, child. You want to say how long that dependent has lived with you. Okay. It's going to give you all these options, including if the child is missing or a parent or whoever it is that you're claiming. And it's going to ask you all these questions at the bottom again. This person are they over 18 and in school? Obviously, so you can claim the child tax credit for them. Not the child tax credit, but you can claim the college credits, which is like your 1098E or 1098T. Very important. When I used to file taxes back when I was in college, I used to go to a major company that would never ask me for my 1098T or 1098E. So I missed out on those credits. Make sure you go to your school financial aid or your admissions department and ask them if you are in college for a 1098T or 1098E, they should have it. A lot of times you can get it online. So if you are in college, please search for that. Or if you have a child that's in college, please search for it. Okay. So then you're going to answer all these questions. You wish not to claim this dependent. The dependent is married. All of those are in there. Click continue. Okay. So now you're going to click continue again. And then it's going to say advanced child tax credit. Now, here's the important thing. If you receive those credits by mail, direct deposit from the government for the year 2021, where they were giving out like $250 per child, basically, those are those advanced child tax credits. If you did not receive all of them, they were running from July to December. So if, let's say, for instance, you received 3 and the other 3 were missing, you're going to still click yes. you're gonna click continue, and then you're gonna put in the amount that you received. You should have received a form. I will insert a picture of the form in the video that's gonna tell you how much you received from that. So let's just say you received $1,000. You had like 2 dependents, right? So you technically were supposed to receive more than that. Once you click continue, it's going to take you to this page, which is very important because some people out there do have an identity theft pin that they receive from the IRS every year if they had to secure their account because of fraudulent activity. So if you did receive an IRS identity protection pin, or the child or dependent or whoever you're claiming receive one, you're going to click yes. And then you're going to put that 6-digit pin in front of that, whoever received it. So specifically, if the dependent received it only, you're going to put it in dependents. If you received it only, you're going to put it there. Let's see. So then let's go back. Okay. I don't want to do quick filing because I want you guys to see. So now that we put in that, let's say we had 2 dependents, but we only received $1,000 for the advanced child tax credit. The advanced credit, you see in the right-hand corner, it's showing you how much you're getting. That is the remainder of the credit that you basically did not receive, right? So that's how you actually claim that credit. The simple thing about TaxSlayer is that it gives you the options. Do you want them to guide you, or do you want to select forms when you're filing? Okay, you can click I want to be guided if you're new and you really don't know what to put in, and it's going to take you throughout the steps. So now it's going to say like your wages and salary. So this is where you enter in your W-2. Everything you need to know is on your W-2. Where it says employer identification number, EIN, it is on your W-2. So where it says that, you want to type in that employer identification number, okay? And then you want to click continue. Then it's going to ask you for all of your employer's information, their name, their address, which is also listed on the W-2. It's going to ask you for your information. It's going to ask you for your wages. The way that you read your W-2 when you're entering your information is by box. So in the box 1, everything on your W-2 is numbered. And all you're doing is matching that information to the box, to the numbers. So whatever is on number 8 in your W-2, you put in. If there's nothing there in number 8, then you don't put anything on there. Okay, and then you're going to click continue. If you have more than one W-2, then you can put in more than one W-2.
Here's a quick one. I just want to break this down for people who only received unemployment for the year 2021. You do not have to go through this whole entire process if the only income you receive was unemployment. So basically what you're going to do is after you put in your basic information, you're going to click on income right here. And then for unemployment, you're going to click on this one, unemployment compensation. Okay. And then you just click begin. Okay. And then it's going to tell you to add or edit your 1099-G, which you should have received from the unemployment office. And then when you do that, it'll take you to this page. And you'll enter in the EIN. See, it says EIN when I highlight it, which is the payer federal ID number. For the payer's name, you're going to enter in whatever state you're in, basically. So if it's Illinois unemployment, you're going to put in Illinois Department of blah, 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 whatever it says at the top, Illinois Department of Employment Security. Okay. If it doesn't say that, then, or Arizona Economic Security, it just depends on whatever state that you are in. Or, you know, the address, should have the address below. Let me see. Should have the address below. You're going to put in your tax information. Obviously, that would be here. like however much they took out in federal taxes. Some people opted to not have taxes taken out of unemployment. So if you didn't have taxes taken out, you're going to put 0. You're going to scroll down and then you're going to put in whatever state that you are in. And you're going to select it from this drop down. Okay. Once you select that from the drop down, you're going to have the state ID number, which is pretty much that it's going to list it on your document. And then if you did have any taxes taken out from the state, you're going to put taxes, the amount of the taxes that was taken out. If you had no taxes taken out from the state, then you're just going to leave that at 0. And then you're going to scroll down. And basically you're just filling in your information. Okay, your address information, and then you click continue. So if you only received unemployment, a lot of this stuff you don't have to do. If you received unemployment, you can quickly file your return by just entering your basic information, entering in the dependents, which is basic information, which is if you click basic information, you'll see dependents. But you're going to go through the basic information because it's going to guide you through. And then once you go through your basic information, you could go ahead and click on federal and then click on income and then click on this 1099-G to file your unemployment. And then once you're done with that, putting in the unemployment information, then you can go straight to where it says like deductions, and then it'll ask you like, do you want to be guided through? You can click I want to be guided, just in case you want to see if there's any other deductions, like if you went to school, then you want to be guided. But if you didn't go to school, you didn't have anything extra going on, like any type of business, and all you had was unemployment compensation for 2021, you only have to pretty much do that income. Make sure that you have and then also if you receive like your COVID, the stimulus relief, then you don't have to do anything else. But if you didn't receive the stimulus relief, this is where you go for this. You click COVID-19 relief to basically claim those credits. Okay, it's going to ask you here, this is where you're going to see the advanced child tax credit and then the recovery rebate credit, which are 2 different credits. The recovery rebate, that was that $1,400 minimum stimulus that was sent out in like March. And then the advanced child tax credits, those were those child tax credits that were sent out from like July to December. Okay. All right, and now we're going to continue. Now it's going to ask you for any interest or dividends. Of course, if you receive these documents in the mail, you're going to click yes, and you're going to enter in this information. But if you did not receive this, then you're going to click no. 1099 interest is typically something that you would receive like from the IRS. So let's just say, for instance, they sent you like last year, a lot of the tax returns was coming back late. A lot of people received an extra interest on their tax refunds, and they sent out a separate document for those, stating the amount of interest that you received. And I can actually put a picture of that in the system as well, so that way you see how that looks. Same thing applies here. Any form that you get, you are matching box by box, the same way you did with your wages. Box 1, whatever is on that form, you put it in box 1. Box 2, whatever's on that form, you put it in box 2. And then once you complete this portion, you're going to go ahead and click continue. Now, if you also receive the retirement account distributions, which is 1099-R, RRB, or RRB 1099-R, either of these forms you would receive by mail. You're going to click yes if you received it. You're going to click no if you have not. Okay. And then actually you're going to, same thing, match the numbers in the box with what they're asking you in the system. Box 1 to box 1, box 2 to box 2, box 3 to box 3. The next form is for deferred retirement income from 2020. Yes or no, same thing. You will receive a form 8915-F. Social Security and Railroad Retirement Benefits, SSA 1099 and RRB 1099. The SSA 1099 is for the Social Security. The RRB 1099 is for Railroad Retirement Benefits. So if you received anything from Social Security, then you're going, or Railroad Retirement Benefits, you're going to click yes. You're going to match the information to what's in the system, what the system is asking you. If you didn't receive either of those, you're going to click no. Once you're done, you're going to go ahead and click continue. Miscellaneous income. Miscellaneous income is 1099 MISC. So a lot of people receive this if they work for as like a contractor. So like Lyft, Uber, maybe like DoorDash. If you received a certain amount within that year, they should send you a 1099 miscellaneous. All the information that's needed to put into the system is on that form. So if you have that, click yes. If you don't have it, click no and continue. Sometimes if you don't have it, I don't know, a lot of those companies, some of them have it where you can actually log into your system and download those forms if you haven't received it by mail. So you want to check for that too if you did any contracted work, some sort of self-employment or independent contractor work. Non-employee compensation, 1099 and EC is actually a new form that's been out for a couple of years, and that also comes from like Lyft, Uber type jobs as well. So check into your portal if you have one from whatever company you are independently contracted with, and see if they have a 1099 NEC. If they do, you want to enter the information, click yes, enter the information. If you didn't do that, then this doesn't apply. So click no and continue. Business owners and contract laborers. Okay. This basically is the same form. So form 1099 miscellaneous, form 1099 NEC. Did you own a business or perform contract labor for an employer in 2021? Okay, if you did own a business, then you can click yes. It's going to take you here, and you see how it says upgrade to self-employed. This basically is putting you in the tier, as I showed before, of where it breaks down how much your fee is going to be to use this system. And it says upgrade, because obviously you're going to have to do this. For additional $30, you'll get a more personalized experience, access tax pros. This is not, you don't have to do this, but this part is an option. But regardless of this additional $30 added on to whatever it is that they're gonna, the tier that they're gonna put you in, the system is gonna calculate based off the forms you fill out how much you're gonna pay once you're done filling out this. And they actually take it from your tax return. So the thing about this is that you don't have to pay upfront. It'll be deducted from your return if you get direct deposit. Reporting profit or loss from business, Schedule C. You're gonna go ahead and click Guide Me. Now, if you owned a business, you're going to have the name of your business. You're going to have your EIN or your social security number if you apply for EIN with your state. If you didn't apply for EIN with your state, an employee identification number through the IRS. If you didn't apply for one of those, not with your state, but with the IRS, then you want to put in your social security number, the address, the zip code, the business type at the bottom. You can click here and scroll through, and it'll tell you the numbers for your business type. If it's in there, like you can put barber and see how it comes up. Okay, so I'm gonna dummy some information in here just so you guys can see what this looks like. Any of you guys who received grants, any of those grants, you can include those in here as income. Okay. And realistically, sales. Let's just say this is sales. The business code you can put, if you don't see it in there, that's okay. You don't have to necessarily have that, but you want to put the description of your business down there. Okay, so then you're going to click continue. Let's see. Okay, questions about your business. Did you receive accounting method, cash, accrual, or other? Typically, you're going to receive cash. Accrual, if you accrue like income from some other source. Method used to value closing inventory. Most self-employed people or business owners use the cost. That's very typical. Check here if you materially participated in the operation of the business during the tax year. That's like, did you purchase any products for your business? If you're a stylist, a barber, et cetera, yes, 9 times out of 10, you did. Prior year unallowed loss. So only enter an amount if your current year's activity is a net profit, okay? You want to follow these instructions to the T, because this is going to determine how much you're going to get back as far as credits from your business if you're filing a business. Check here if you made any payments in 2021 that will require you to file a Form 1099. If you did make payments in 2021 that requires you to file a Form 1099, you would know that. Notification, obviously, as a business owner, you would be notified of that. You would know that beforehand, and that's like a different video as far as like business education. Check here for qualified joint ventures. So if you did an ownership between you and someone else, then you want to check here. Check here to prorate expenses for ministers or clergy. If you're a minister or part of the clergy, then you want to check that also. So let's click continue. Let's begin your business. Did your business make any money during the tax year? So typically, yes. If you have a business, that's the difference between a business and a hobby. So you're going to enter the income amount here. Let's just say this person made $13,652. Let's just say that, right? Income reported to you on Form W-2 as a statutory employee. Actually, this information, income reported to you on Form W-2 as statutory employee. This information, if you had a W-2, you would have entered it in the beginning. Any other income from any other sources, you can put that here. Returns and allowances. If you had any returns, you can put that information here. Typically, with the business, you're really just putting in the income, okay? All right, and then it says business cost of goods sold. Did you accrue any costs? So yes or no for this. And once you click yes, it's going to take you to this section where you're going to basically put in, whatever you spent. So if you spent for materials and supplies, if there were other costs like maybe transportation, inventory at the end of the year, cost of labor, how much did you pay other people, salary, not yourself, purchases, less cost of items withdrawn for personal use, like, okay, did you need anything for like traveling, lunch, et cetera, inventory at the beginning of the year, how much did you have at the beginning of the year versus now? And then if you have any of this to enter, you enter it. If you don't need to enter anything, then you just go ahead and click continue. Okay, now it goes down to business expenses, and then you're going to click yes for that. These are additional expenses. So advertising, contract labor, depletion, employee benefit programs, health insurance, if you have to pay for any of that. If you're claiming part of your house, like let's just say you're a daycare or something, or you rent an office, you want to put the post that mortgage interest there. If you received, something for that, and there's mortgage interest there. But if it's just renting or leasing, then you would put that in rent or lease of property, which is here. Oh, not there. Which is here, rent or lease of property, you can put that there. Or if you put rent or lease of equipment, you can put that there. Pension and profit sharing, taxes and licenses, if you had to pay for any taxes or licenses, or if you had to pay for any traveling, meals, all this information is listed here. So then you're also going to click continue. And now you're going to go to business, car, and truck. So did you use your car or truck for business purposes? Yes or no? This is a simple answer. Nobody knows this but you and the person that you work for. So if you go to somebody who is doing your taxes, they're going to ask you this question. They should ask you this question because obviously TaxSlayer is asking you this to see if there are any credits that you can get for using your vehicle. So then you go here, you enter in the description of the vehicle, the date, you place your vehicle in service for business purposes, and then you enter like your business miles. And then at the bottom, it says, check here if you have another vehicle available for personal use or your spouse. Check here if your vehicle was available for personal use during off-duty hours. Check here if you have evidence to support your deductions. Usually, obviously, you're going to like gas receipts to get to and from where you have to go. If yes, check if the evidence is written. That means like it's basically in your job description that you're going to be driving to and from, or in your business description that you're going to be driving to and from. Obviously, if you do like a transportation company or something like that, or you do food delivery, that's pretty much kind of like a no-brainer. And the reason I'm going through this right now is because, like I said, when I was younger, I would go through these major companies and sit in these offices and pay $600 and $700 and $800 for somebody to do my taxes. These are questions that they would never ask me that were available. And it was like I just was not getting all of my credits. And I realized that later on when, I got a little bit older and started talking to other people. And yes, it makes you feel like you have been ripped off. So qualified education program. This is something that you want to fill out. You want to go through this. If you're an educator, even if it's like Udemy, if you are a student in college, you want to explore all of this information. You want to contact your financial departments at the schools because, so long story short, when I was in college, admissions didn't tell me like, oh, at the end of the year, make sure you get your 1098T. When I would go to these major companies to like file my tax return, they would not say, do you have your 1098T or 1099 or 1098? Like they would ask for these documents. So these are credits that are out there that some people just don't even know about. I know I spoke with some college students last year, and that last year was literally the first time that they ever heard of getting these documents. So apparently in 2021, when I spoke with them, schools are still not making the students aware that they should have like their tax forms from school. If you're getting financial aid, et cetera, because you have credits, let's be serious, like college is expensive. So you have credits and stuff that you should be getting that, people out there are not going to tell you about. So if you have a 1099Q, definitely contact, click yes, enter in information. If you did not receive one, click no. I'm going to click yes so that you guys can kind of like explore this. So it's going to say the gross distribution, the earnings, actual qualified educational expenses. You can click learn more, and on the left side, it explains to you like what this is. If you paid qualified education expenses, then you can if you received the 1099Q distribution and used it to pay qualified expenses, you can exclude the 1099Q income. If you wish to claim a larger education credit instead, enter all the 1099Q income here and do not enter any qualified expenses. Like this basically breaks down everything for you. If you just click learn more, you can read about it on the left-hand side. Okay. I'm going to back out of here and click cancel. Okay, cancellation of debt. If you received any of this, 1099-C, box 2, right? This would be the IRS considers canceled debt to be a form of income since you receive money or property and never have to pay it back. If you had debt canceled, you should receive a 1099-C. So if you guys got those the debt canceled from the grants or anything that was going on last year, you should receive this 1099-C. Okay. Click yes if you have it. Click no if you didn't. Click continue. All right. Installment sales. Okay. Owner held mortgage. Installment sales happen when you sell a property at gain. So anybody out there selling property, other inventory in your business, and collecting payments in a tax year. After the tax year that the property was sold, for example, if you sold a car in 2021, but you're still collecting payments in 2022, you would select yes. If you didn't do any of this, then you select no. And again, it's going to ask you information that only you can answer. Like if you sit in front of somebody and a tax preparer is doing your taxes for you, they're going to ask you these questions. They should ask you these questions if they're trying to get all the credits for you. Sale of business property, yes or no if you did or did not sell business property. Unreported tips, all right, if you receive tips from an employer that's not listed on your documents, then you click yes. If not, you click no. Contracts and straddles, okay, include any regulated future contracts, foreign currency contracts, non-equity options, dealer equity options, dealer security future contracts, and cash settle options. Do you have any contracts or straddles to report? Yes if you do, no if you don't. Taxpayers living abroad. So if you spend more time in a foreign country, then yes, you want to click this. If you did not, you want to click no. Do you qualify for the foreign earned income exclusion? This is what that is for. All right, and now we're going to get into deductions. I'm going to click continue. It's going to ask you this now. TaxSlayer is always going to, have like some pop-ups, basically letting you know what you can have as far as like, just in case you get any audits or anything like that. They have audit defense, which complete defense and representation in the case of an IRS audit for 3 years, or securely ID, complete identity theft monitoring, protection, and restoration solution for 1 year. So they're just showing their deals. You don't have to add that. You can click no thanks, or you can definitely add it. Family deductions, earn income tax credit, child and dependent care costs, adoption expenses. Okay, do you want to explore the possible credits and deductions for your family? Always click yes. I'm going to say always click yes if you have a family. So did you pay any independent care expenses to an individual daycare? Yes or no? If you did, they should, the daycare has the EIN. They can give you that information. You can enter the information here. Let me see. I'll just click yes so you guys can explore it now before you actually. So did you pay daycare expenses for a care qualifying dependent or individual that you or your spouse could work or actively look for work? Yes or no? Yeah. That way you guys, so then you can contact the daycare. They can give you all this information, provider's tax ID number, name, address information. You can enter all that information, and then they can calculate how much, or you can calculate based off of how often you pay them, how much you pay them, put that information in. Okay, so I just backed out, but once you put the information in, you're going to click continue. Earn income tax credit. Do you want to explore possible credits and deductions related to you and your family? Like I said, if you have a family, you want to always click yes. That is my personal suggestion. You don't have to take that suggestion, but it's beneficial for you to explore everything. Information claims certain refundable credits after disallowance. So you're going to click begin. Let me see. And then you can click like claim credit. And the system is going to determine your eligibility. Okay, and it says qualified. So then you're going to click continue. Any adoption expenses, yes or no? Did you pay adoption expenses? If you did, you want to enter yes and enter that information. Home and property ownership, you will get these forms from your mortgage company. They will send the forms in the mail. If you received any of these, you want to click yes. If you did not, you want to click no. If you didn't receive it and you own a home, then you want to call the mortgage company, of course, and see if they have it on file electronically where you can actually download it. Charitable contribution. You may qualify for charitable contributions if you made cash charitable contributions to a public charity in 2021. If you take the standard deduction, you can deduct up to $300. If you itemize, you can deduct up to 100% of your adjusted gross income. Did you make any charitable contributions in 2021? So cash contributions like your tithes or donations to churches. You pay tithes to churches? Yes. If you don't know, obviously mileage contributions driving to and from volunteer work. If you're going to and from volunteer work, non-cash donations like clothing, etc., any charitable contributions or carryovers. Yes, if you did any of this. No, if you did not. And then obviously if you did, click yes. You want to enter in information, click continue. Any medical expenses? Would you like to explore possible credits and deductions related to medical expenses covered in this section? Medical and dental expenses, MSAs, HSAs, health insurance for self-employed. If you paid any of this throughout the year, then you click yes. If you did not, you can click no and then click continue. Educational expenses. Of course, this is for the students. So if you have like your 1098T, this is or any other school forms from your school, then you're going to click yes. If you don't, click no. But if you don't have it and you are a student, like I said, I would contact admissions, because if you're in college, and you are actively in school, you're actively in school during 2021, you should have a 1098T or something. So just to give you a look at it before you do, there's 1098E. You may or may not have one of those. Contact the school and see. Or you can also contact whoever has your loan and see. 1098T, that's definitely you're going to want to contact the school. If you have it, you click yes. If you don't, you click no. If you have it, click yes, you go here and it's going to show you, it's going to ask you questions. I've completed entering my income information. No, I have not entered my income information. You may be eligible for credit. Okay, so obviously you probably didn't enter in your information. So you're going to click confirm. You're going to click education credits, and then it's going to ask you, who is the student? Okay. If you're the parent and you're the student, you're going to click your name. If you're not the parent and you are the student, then you're going to click your name. If you are the parent, but your child or niece or nephew was a student, whoever, you're going to click that person's name, whoever is a student. And then it's going to ask you if you have your forms. You're going to click yes if you do. Did you receive forms for 2020 with box 2 filled out in and box 7 checks? You're going to look at that form and see if you have that form with box 2 filled in and box 7 checked. You're going to click yes or no. And then obviously once you click that information, you can click continue. It's going to ask you for the school's information. Their employer identification number is on the 1098T form that they give you. Click continue.
And then any car and personal property expenses. You have any of those? Click yes. You don't? Click no. Job-related expenses, right? Would you like to explore possible credits and deductions for job-related expenses? Education, like your teacher, you purchase items for your students, tissue, crayons, pencils. Yes. Moving expenses, if you had to move because your job relocated you, yes. Business use of home, a lot of people had to go work from home, yes. Traveling expenses, if you had to travel, yes. Other job related expenses that you may wonder if they qualify, click yes, because it's going to walk you through the questions and you're just going to answer them honestly. You don't have any of this, click no and continue. Various tax payments. So federal estate payments, if you have any of these, foreign tax payments, amount paid with extension, additional state and local income tax, click yes. And like I said, if you question any of these, click yes and just walk through. TaxSlayer will walk you through the questions. You just answer them, according to your life. Like, these life events that occurred in your life. Retirement investments, if you have any of those, IRA deductions, retirement saving contribution credits, click yes. If you don't, click no. And continue. Deductions guide, issued to be covered in this section. So it's going to basically tell you alimony, early withdrawal penalty, elderly and disabled credit, casualties and thefts. Anything you question, click yes, go through the questions, answer them honestly, and TaxSlayer will let you know what credits you qualify for. Okay. So now it has all the deductions. You're just going to click continue. And then this is just anything that you filled out will basically be calculated. And like I said, they'll give you the total amount here as far as what you owe or what you would receive a refund for. Now you're going to go through other taxes. Click continue. Now you're done with that section. It's going to say payments and estimates. Okay, amount paid with extensions, overpayments from last year, other with federal withholdings, other state withholdings. Any questions? You can always click these little blue question marks and it'll tell you, like on the left-hand side. Okay. Sorry. All right. Yeah, click continue. Miscellaneous forms. If you have any miscellaneous forms, if you had an IRS identification pin, this is that. If you miss putting that in the beginning, that's this right here. That's like if you have the identity theft, which I did show you in the beginning. So you do want to check on this side to see if it says begin, and then that means that it's not filled out. Okay. If it says edit, then that means that that portion is filled out. You want to look at the ones that pretty much apply to you. Like if you had identity theft, then if it says begin and not edit, you want to go back and click begin and put in a number. If you had an injured spouse allocations, then it says begin, you want to click edit. You want to click begin and then start it if it doesn't say edit, because if it doesn't say edit and some of these questions may apply to you, that means that the form is not filled out. Click continue. See, this is a perfect example, the advanced child tax credit. That was filled out in the beginning, so it says edit. Form 7202, there were no sick leave and family leave from work, so it says begin because it's not filled out. This recovery rebate credit is so important for this year because if you did not receive that third stimulus, you want to fill this out. So I'm just going to click begin. And because I really want you guys to see the back end of this, the recovery rebate credit. If you received it, yes, I received the statement during the third round. If you did not, click no. So that way you can get the credit here. Okay, and like I said, it's going to change and calculate everything up here. See how it's circling? Wow, there you go. And that recovery rebate credit, if you're wondering whether you got it or not, I believe that came in around March. So now the system is calculating everything so far. Okay, now it's going to take you to health insurance questions, and it's going to ask you, did you or your spouse or dependent purchase health insurance via healthcare.gov or a state marketplace? You will know this because it's going to list the information here. So like I said, you have questions, click this question mark and it'll pull up right here on the left-hand side. This is being done from a laptop. I would suggest not trying to do your taxes from a cell phone or a tablet because you're probably not going to see everything the way that you should be seeing it. So yeah. So did you or your spouse or dependent purchase health insurance via healthcare.gov or state marketplace? If you're not sure, you can click either of these and it'll take you through the information. For a full list of states with marketplace, please click here. And I actually, if you did, you would receive a form from that healthcare.gov or the state marketplace that you purchase health insurance from, just so you guys can look. It's going to ask you to verify your household. These are the people that will be on there. And it's going to ask you other questions. Were you eligible to receive unemployment compensation for any week during 2021? Answer that yes or no. If you are you required to pay advanced premium tax credit? Like if they are they asking you to repay it? Yes or no. Is your household below 100% federal poverty line? If you're not sure, again, click that learn more. Look on the left side. Okay. Applicable taxpayer. Here is, see how it breaks it down? Family member 2, right? Individuals, are you under 12,000? Family of 2, 17,000 or less. Family of 3, 21,000 rounded or less. You must have been estimated to have at least the below amounts of income, but not more than 4 times the amount. Okay, so that'll help you answer that question. Do all forms 1095A include coverage for January through December? So this is basically the form that you will receive from the healthcare coverage if you purchased. And if you have that form, click yes, and then fill in the information, of course. It's match box to box. I'm going to click no and click continue. Now you're done with your federal information, you can go to your state. And it's going to ask you to get started. And it's going to ask you for all your information here. Okay. I'm in Illinois, so it's asking me for my Illinois PIN, right? If you don't have your Illinois PIN or whatever PIN number from your state, you can Google what's my Illinois or find my Illinois PIN. You can like literally just type that in Google and then it'll take you to a website where the state site, you guys don't pay these PIN numbers are free. So if you go to a site that's saying pay $9.95 or $10.95 or $17.95 to get this information, please don't. go to your state website to get that information. Your driver's license number, all this information. You will basically put that information in here to file. Okay, guys, so once you're finished putting in your information for your state, it's going to take you to a screen that says ready to file, and it is going to give you the option to select yes, you are ready to file, no, you're not ready to file. You're going to select one or the other. If you are ready to file, then you are going to click yes, and you're going to continue. Once you continue, it's going to take you to a page where you have the option to select file and go. File and go basically means that you don't have to pay anything right now. They will go ahead and take the funds out of your return. And if you don't want them to do that, you want to pay up front, the price is going to pretty much be the same as they calculated. You can click no thanks. Okay, so once you click the file and go, if that's what you select, then it's going to take you to another page where your federal information comes up along with the state, along with the product price, and it also says sign and file. You're going to go through each of these. So with the federal first, it's going to say continue. Okay, once you click continue for the federal, it's going to take you to another page where it gives you the option to do direct deposit or get the tax layer card. Okay, you can get it on the tax layer card, they'll mail it to you, or you can opt in for the direct deposit. Once you do that and click continue, it's going to take you back to that page where you'll see the federal, you'll see the state, you'll see the product and service price, and it's going to do the same thing for your state return. Okay, you're going to click continue with the state return, and then it's going to give you the options again: direct deposit, get your check mailed in, you know, all the options. You're going to choose the one that works best for you, obviously. And then you're going to continue. It's going to take you back to that page again where you see the federal, the state, the product price, the product and service price, and then you'll see sign and file. You're going to select the product and service price, and it's going to give you a breakdown of what you're paying and pretty much how it's broken up. Okay, and then once you're done with that, you go ahead and go to the sign and file where it's going to tell you to enter in the rest of your information. You know how to sign your documents electronically. You know your routing number and your account number. So you're going to put that information in because, like I said, filing your tax return is you pretty much answering the questions that the IRS wants to know to calculate how much you owe or how much you don't know. There is nobody that's going to know this information better than you. Even if you go to the tax preparer, you're going to take them your W-2 or whatever tax documents you have. You're giving that information. So the same way you can give it to someone else is the same way you can enter it in the system, and you know, you can file yourself and maybe save a couple of hundreds. So I hope this video really helped you for filing your return, especially with the 2021 return, because there are some documents, if you go through the video, that have changed, obviously because of the things that we've gotten over the year. But if you have any questions, of course, you can leave the questions in the comments. I do come back and check, and I will answer as many questions as I can. You guys, welcome to 2022. Bye for now.